you ever wondered why world leaders raise their hands in a certain way? Why CEOs step onto a stage with thunderous music, carefully chosen lights, and slow, deliberate movements? Why presidents pause in silence before speaking, staring into the crowd until thousands of people fall quiet? Or why politicians repeat the same phrase again and again until it drills into your brain like a command? These aren't accidents. They are not habits. They are rituals of power. Ancient techniques created thousands of years ago by emperors, generals, priests, and kings. And the shocking truth is this: every single one of these rituals is still used on you today. The temples have changed into skyscrapers, the robes into suits, the chants into slogans, but the manipulation is the same. Let us uncover them one by one. The raised hand, the simplest yet the most commanding of all. When a Roman emperor entered the forum, he would raise his arm, not to greet the crowd, but to silence it. That upward motion was a signal: stop talking, look here, obey. The gesture worked instantly because the human brain is wired to respond to clear, dominant body language. Your eyes see a raised hand, your nervous system reacts before your thoughts even catch up. Centuries later, the same movement was adopted by generals, dictators, and rulers across the world. Armies saluted, crowds raised their hands in unison. Entire nations were conditioned to respond to that single gesture. And now, it hasn't disappeared. Presidents still raise their hands to pause applause. Speakers on stages do it without even thinking. Teachers silence a classroom with one hand lifted. It's an unbroken chain of dominance that runs through history. One gesture, thousands of years. The effect is always the same: obedience. Then comes repetition, the ritual of words. The ancients discovered a simple law: the mind confuses repetition with truth. Priests in Mesopotamia repeated chants. Egyptian pharaohs ordered their names carved thousands of times onto stone. Roman soldiers marched chanting the same slogans again and again until their will was erased. It was never just about belief, it was about programming. Now look at the modern world. Slogans dominate politics, marketing, even culture. Yes, we can. Make America great again. Just do it. Think different. Simple, emotional, short enough to fit into memory, and repeated until you stop questioning. The more you hear, the more your brain accepts. You don't analyze, you obey. Repetition is the ritual of control through sound. It bypasses reason, it bypasses debate, and once it enters, it stays. Architecture is another weapon of power. From the temples of Greece to the cathedrals of Europe, every building of authority had one purpose: to make humans feel small. Step into the Parthenon. Columns tower above you, lifting your gaze upward, forcing humility. Walk through the gates of Babylon. They swallow you whole. You feel insignificant. Stand in the marble halls of Rome. Echoes magnify every footstep, making your voice sound weak in comparison. This architecture wasn't decoration, it was strategy. The very stones whispered, "You are nothing, they are everything." Fast forward to today. Step into a parliament, a courthouse, a central bank. Look at the vast ceilings, the endless corridors, the heavy doors that you struggle to open. It's the same formula, unchanged. Corporations copy it too. The glass towers, the giant logos, the security gates. They don't just want you to see their power. They want you to feel it in your body, to walk away believing it. Architecture is silent domination. Now consider silence itself. Julius Caesar was said to use it like a weapon. He would stop mid-speech, fix his eyes on the crowd, and let silence grow heavy. The pause forced people to lean forward, to anticipate, to surrender attention. The silence itself was more powerful than any word. Generals used silence before giving orders. Judges used silence before delivering verdicts. Kings used silence before announcing war. In modern times, the ritual continues. Negotiators sit at tables and let silence drag until the other side caves. Interrogators know that silence makes suspects nervous enough to speak. CEOs let silence stretch on stage, amplifying their presence. Your instinct is to fill the void, but the one who controls silence controls the game. Silence is not absence. Silence is pressure, and pressure makes people reveal themselves. Even clothing is ritual. Purple robes in Rome signaled wealth and authority. Golden crowns declared divine right. Black armor terrified enemies. Uniforms transformed individuals into extensions of an empire. Every stitch, every color was chosen to send a signal. Nothing has changed. The president's black suit, the pope's white robes, the judge's dark gown, the soldier's camouflage. All uniforms, all designed to strip individuality and project power. Clothing is not fashion at the highest level. It is psychology. You don't just see a man. You see an institution. And then there is fear, the most ancient ritual of all. Fear is the shortcut to control. Where fear lives, obedience follows. In ancient Babylon, rulers staged brutal executions at the city gates. In Rome, crucifixions lined the roads as a warning. Medieval kings burned dissenters alive to show that resistance meant annihilation. Fear works because it shuts down reason. A brain in fear does not think, it reacts. It seeks safety, even if that safety is submission. And today, the ritual of fear is everywhere. The constant drumbeat of crises, the flashing headlines of terror and disaster, economic collapse, war, disease. Fear cycles in endless loops, and people cling to the very leaders who frightened them in the first place. Fear is the ritual that never dies, because it never fails. Isolation is another. Ancient kings surrounded themselves with guards, walls, golden palaces. They were untouchable, unreachable, and that distance created mystique. Today's elites do the same. Armored limousines, private jets, exclusive summits behind closed doors. You can't get close. You're meant to feel excluded, lesser, powerless. The message is clear. We are not like you. And in believing that, people lower their heads. And finally, spectacle, the ritual of distraction. The Romans perfected it with gladiator games. Thousands killed in the Colosseum, while senators plotted laws that enslaved the people. Bread and circuses became the formula. Give food, give entertainment, and you can do whatever you want behind the curtain. Medieval kings did the same with festivals, coronations, grand ceremonies. The show wasn't for joy, it was for distraction. And now, nothing has changed. Massive sporting tournaments, endless award shows, viral media spectacles, political debates staged like theater. While the crowd is entertained, the throne remains unchallenged. Spectacle blinds the eyes, while hands move unseen. These rituals, the raised hand, repetition, architecture, silence, clothing, fear, isolation, spectacle, are not dead relics of history.
They surround you right now. They are in your schools, your offices, your governments, your feeds. They shape your choices, your emotions, your very identity. The ancient rituals were performed in temples, arenas, palaces. The modern rituals are performed in news cycles, advertisements, algorithms, and even the conversations you have every day. The truth is brutal. If you don't recognize the ritual, you are trapped inside it. You don't play the role of the leader. You don't play the role of the thinker. You play the role of the obedient audience, distracted, controlled, entertained. So ask yourself, how many of these rituals shape your mind without you noticing? How many of your choices are free? And how many are scripted centuries ago? If you could spot the ritual instantly, if you could name it the moment it appeared, how much control would you take back? Because here's the most dangerous truth. We've only scratched the surface. There is one ritual more powerful than all the others. A ritual hidden in plain sight, disguised as normal life, embedded into every screen, every message, every interaction. It is the ritual that controls billions every single day. If you're ready to see it, don't just watch. Join us, subscribe, and unlock what was meant to stay hidden. Dangerous knowledge, the secrets they never wanted you to know.